We go to a new half hour. It is 7:30 a.m. Good morning, everyone. As you're listening to Mix 104.1 Talk 101.3 The Buzz, and you're watching MixTV.tv. We have breaking news this morning. It is sad news. The symbol of the 1996 Summer Games, which brought the world to this region, has burned down. The Ocoee Whitewater Center burned down. Early this morning, the fire beginning somewhere between 2 and 3 o'clock this morning is being described this morning by the Polk County Emergency Management Agency as a total loss. We are getting eyewitness reports and accounts. And Austin, if you will, I know you've got video of the fire for MixTV.tv, and there it is. The fire burned early this morning before daylight. The Ocoee Whitewater Center, so many memories wrapped up in that, not only for the thousands who still come and call that Ocoee Whitewater Center their favorite travel destination from around the world, but also people in this area who still remember the games of the Summer Olympiad of 1996. Yes, they were headquartered in Atlanta, but in this region, in the Ocoee region, that was our games, and we are thinking about that this morning. There's a lot of symbolism, a lot of memories tied up in this. The Ocoee Whitewater Center, which not only hosted the games of 1990, the Summer Games of 96, but also it's hosted weddings. It's hosted other events. We're hearing from some friends of ours this morning who have a lot of memories at the Ocoee Whitewater Center. We're going to be joined at any moment by Bradley County Mayor Gary Davis to talk about this. We have other guests lined up and are expecting more calls this morning. Bridget, I understand traffic. Tell me about the traffic scenario there, Highway 64.
Yeah, so both lanes are back open there on Highway 64 near the Ocoee Whitewater Center. So that is good news. But if you are traveling in that area, you are still going to see emergency crews on the scene there. So be aware of that as you drive. But yes, it did have the road shut down earlier this morning, but thankfully both lanes are back open.
All right, this is breaking news from Mix 104.1 as we say good morning to you. Mix 104.1 Talk 101.3 The Buzz, and we're on MixTV.tv, and I understand Bradley County Mayor Gary Davis is going to be calling us at any moment, so we'll stand by for that. Good morning to all of you. We are going to continue our coverage of this just a terrible story this morning. The fire and the total loss of the Ocoee Whitewater Center this morning. If you're just joining us, that obviously is terrible news, and we're going to welcome in the mayor of Bradley County, Gary Davis. Good morning, Mayor.
Hey, good morning, Steve.
It's a terrible story, isn't it?
It is. I was just hearing the last few minutes of some of your comments. A lot of memories, a lot of history, not old history, but going back to the 96 Olympics. A beautiful building, wonderful place to have meetings. I've been to numerous meetings at the Whitewater Center, and the balconies overlooking the beautiful river there, where some of us are old enough to remember Blue Hole. We used to go swimming. It was a wonderful place. Of course, the good thing is it's just a building. It can be rebuilt, but no loss of life. That's great news, but it's a sad loss, yes.
I guess we're joined by Bradley County Mayor Gary Davis. The symbolism of it, the memories tied up in it are just really one of the toughest things about this. You make a great point, Mayor, and that is thankfully no injuries, no loss of life. But going back to 1996, that. You think about that, and not only 96, but the year, a few years before that, it really brought the world to this area.
It did. The 96 Olympics was really a big deal for not only Polk County, Bradley County. We hosted some of the Olympic people at Lee University and all, and I remember when they were building the facility, all of the work that went into the Olympics. Even though the Olympics was in Atlanta, a big portion of it, the Whitewater part, was was there in Polk County, and it brought the world, you might say, to Polk County, something that they, as well as we, have always been very proud of.
Certainly so, and we're joined by Mayor Gary Davis, Bradley County, and in some ways, back then, it really brought the two counties together on a really another level at that time.
It really did. At the time, I was on the hospital board, and the hospital was very instrumental in working with the Olympics Committee. I think it was called back then. There was a lot of. If you went to the Olympics, to the whitewater part of the Olympics, it was a really big deal there in Polk County, up the River Gorge, and which is a very beautiful area. It's amazing. I've already talked to people this morning that had never seen the Whitewater Center. It was just a beautiful thing. The bridge there across the river and the center overlooking the river, a beautiful place. And the Whitewater itself, like I said earlier, it brought the world to Bradley County and Polk County, and something we've always been proud of and will always be proud of.
Well, thank you, Mayor, for your reflections this morning. Bradley County Mayor Gary Davis, and really appreciate it.
Well, thank you. Again, no loss of life or anything. We, Bradley County Fire Department, did help out with the mutual aid. We sent a couple engines over there to help out. No injuries were reported. Everything went well other than the loss of a building. But, again, the good thing is it's just a building. It can be replaced.
All right. Mayor Davis, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right. Again, the Ocoee Whitewater Center. We're in more of our breaking news mode this morning, and that is that it is being described as a total loss, the symbol of the 1996 games for our region, the Summer Olympion at that time, which brought the world of whitewater rafting to our area. As Mayor Davis alluded to, Lee University hosted, Lee College at the time hosted the athletes. Let's go to the phones. I believe we have Cornelia Nickleson with Local 3 News. Cornelia, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
I know you're there on the scene. Tell me what's happening up there, please.
Yeah, right now, it was fully engulfed this morning, but right now there's just a few bit of hot spots. No fire crews are on the scene. They did leave around 4 this morning, but the area is going to be blocked off for an investigation. They don't know the cause, but they're thinking possible arson. So they're going to be investigating what really happened here. Now, the building is a complete loss. It is completely destroyed. Even while we're here with those little bit of hot spots, parts of the roof are still collapsing. We're seeing parts of it fall onto the ground, but the building is completely destroyed at this time. Now, the hazmat crew did drive up here for a second, but they did just leave a few minutes ago. But again, it's completely blocked off, but there are no fire crews at this time out here.
We're joined by Cornelia Nickleson with our news partners at Local 3 News. And, boy, I hate to hear that word arson. Boy, that is extremely disturbing that's even in the conversation at this time.
Yeah, they're still not exactly sure what the cause is, but they said they're going to, completely investigate this to figure out, what happened. But this is definitely a big loss for the community. This was a very historical place. If you remember, the 1996 Olympics were held here, and then after that, thousands of people come here, especially around this time of the year, for the season, the white rafting season, and to hike and bike around here. So this is a very devastating loss right now.
It certainly is. Cornelia Nickleson with our news partners at Local 3 News. Cornelia, I really appreciate you taking time to call us this morning. We certainly appreciate it.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. Cornelia there on the scene at the Ocoee Whitewater Center. And it is truly just a tremendous loss. There's a lot of, Bridget, a lot of symbolism here. And I'm sure a lot of memories, and we're getting tons of messages this morning from people in this area.
Yeah, as you mentioned earlier, we've heard from people who have gotten married there, and Dwayne mentioned this earlier. Lots of kids take field trips there each and every year, so lots of children have memories there as well.
We have some Austin. I believe you're getting new pictures in. Is that right?
Yes, we are having pictures that are posted on Facebook of the center itself. So this is the first pictures that we've received, and you can kind of see how she was talking about that the roof is still kind of collapsing up there. You can see from these pictures, and there's still a little bit of fire going on.
As daylight really takes hold, if you go to mixtv.tv, you can see these pictures that are now we're getting in from the Ocoee Whitewater Center. If you're just joining us, the Ocoee Whitewater Center, a total loss due to fire, which broke out sometime between 2 and 3 o'clock this morning. Of course, that full investigation will be launched. Go back to our volunteer Red Mix line. We are joined by the Sheriff of Polk County, Steve Ross. Sheriff Ross, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Hartline.
Sir, just if you can, bring us up to date on what you know at this point.
Well, the cause is unknown at this time, of course. I know that they have requested bomb and arson, which falls under TBI, and they will be responding shortly. The fire is still hot, very hot. They're still working the scene. It's marked off. The highway is open. That's what we want to make sure everybody knows. It's passable through there, so they don't have to worry about going back and forth to work. We're inundated with a bunch of calls. Everybody's calling, asking if the road is open. So yes, it is. And as far as the cause, there was another fire shortly before that, and we don't know if they're connected or not. As far we're not suspecting on the arson, it was a truck fire that happened. So we're trying to connect the dots at this point. And of course, West Polk and East Polk both fire and rescue responded. The EMA director is in charge of the scene until the TBI gets there. So, I'm sorry,
Sheriff. We're joined by Polk County Sheriff Steve Ross, and Sheriff, I hear you say that the arson team is coming from the TBI. What are we to? Is that a normal protocol? I simply don't know.
Yes, sir. It usually is.
Okay.
On anything unattended fires when there's nobody home and there's really no idea of the cause.
Okay, so as you said, the fire is still hot there at the Whitewater Center. What, as Polk County Sheriff, what does this Ocoee Whitewater Center mean to Polk County, and what does it mean to you?
Well, if you've ever went up the Ocoee River, driving through on a Saturday or Sunday, if you'll look at the Whitewater Center, I was by there Saturday, and there was not a parking spot for the whole place. Hundreds of people, and probably thousands every week, visit that place. It's a good place just to hike and ride bicycles, to just sit and look at the river and things like that. And it's really important to us that it's a draw for other counties around us and even states around us for people to come and visit, and hopefully they'll grab a tank full of gas and some food while they're here and help us out.
You got that right. We're joined by Polk County Sheriff Steve Ross, and of course the memories that we have here in Bradley County, not just the present day, but going back to 1996 and that Olympic summer of 1996.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. There's a lot of memories there, and we hate to see what has happened. We really do.
Polk County Sheriff Steve Ross. Sheriff, I really appreciate you joining us this morning, and please be in touch as the investigation really gets underway.
Yes, sir, we will, and thank y'all for getting this out, and just want to make sure that everybody knows the road's open.
The road, yeah, and we're gonna keep mentioning that, Sheriff. We really appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Polk County Sheriff Steve Ross, and he wants to get the word out that yes, Highway 64 is reopened. We are getting now beginning to get even more information in. You are listening to Mix 104.1 to Talk 101.3 The Buzz. You are watching on mixtv.tv. We have some fascinating pictures. I say fascinating, very, very sad pictures this morning coming into us. The Ocoee Whitewater Center, the symbol of the world, coming to the Ocoee Region in 1996. That Summer Olympic year, which for many, it was all about Atlanta. But for us in this area, it was all about the world coming to our backyard, really to Cleveland, Tennessee, and to Bradley County, to Polk County. The athletes to Lee College at the time. Dr. Paul Kahn, the president of Lee College at the time, who spearheaded the drive with the Chamber of Commerce at that time, and city and county officials, Cleveland Mayor Tom Rowland, to welcome the world. And that Ocoee Whitewater Center, which in a lot of ways was helped by the Coca-Cola Corporation. And Somerville Johnston, who at that time was the CEO of Coca-Cola, took a personal interest in the Ocoee Whitewater Center and the games of that summer of 1996. And now this morning, the tragic news is that this Ocoee Whitewater Center is no more. It has burned down. As of somewhere between 2 and 3 o'clock this morning, we are covering this story this morning. We have more guests to come, including our friend Melissa Woody with the Cleveland Bradley Chamber of Commerce Convention and Visitors Bureau. She is the head of that organization, but she was heavily involved back in 1996. And, you know, it was not just 96. You don't just plop that building down and plop all of that down in 96. This was a years-long effort prior to 1996 to get ready for the summer games. And we're talking about a building this morning, and as the sheriff of Polk County, Steve Ross, just told us, as Bradley County Mayor Gary Davis told us before that building will be rebuilt. But it is the memories and the symbolism of that building and the building and its current uses, and a lot of memories this morning being shared. And now the question becomes, what happened there early this morning? Why and how did this building burn down? Those answers will come, but this morning we are covering this story on our broadcast this morning, Mix 104.1, Talk 101.3. And then for video and for pictures this morning, you can go to mixtv.tv, where we are live this morning. We're going to take another break here. Our special coverage will continue in just a moment. We're also going to pause for sports, all coming up here. This is Mix 104.1. Good morning, and we'll be back with more in just a moment.